Hello, dear friends. There are many alternative theories about humanity's past, but it seems that there is a lowest common denominator that tells of a glorious and hidden past. Opinion piece. Secret history. Our, our true story. Truth will come out. Centenary people in old Russia. We have been told a soap opera. Metal monoliths in Wales and Las Vegas. Archbishop Vigano will not attend his trial. Banks continue buying gold despite its rise. Switzerland pushes for financial system change. Let's start. It may sound exaggerated, but many people will be convinced when they read this version of the story, which will become popular and widespread in the 5D world and end being studied and taught in schools, universities, and scientific institutions. There are already discoveries in astronomy, anthropology, archaeology, and Egyptology that support this and other theories based mainly on translations of Sumerian writings, according to Peter B. Mayer. The Sumerian explanation of the origin and creation of human beings is very fascinating. Whichever way you look at it, it is much more rational and reasonable than many of the well-known theories of current and past science. The knowledge of the existence of a single God and the understanding that life encompasses much more than purely material plane of existence on which we now find ourselves is orchestrated and protected by secret societies. The world's energy generation architecture that has its origins in the Tartar Arab civilization. It is characterized by the use of arched opening columns, domes, and towers, in addition to architectural elements such as rosettes and muqarnas, symbols of the energy frequencies that affect molecules and modify the behavior of cells. The muqarnas is a work formed by the geometric combination of coupled prisms, whose lower end is cut in the shape of a concave surface, which is used as an ornament for vaults, cornices, etc. In the recent past, these waves have been used to heal, levitate, and transport and create sensations of harmony and euphoria. Let us remember that all the pyramids, theaters, and coliseums had water canal underneath, which shows where the sound energy was directed. In addition, star fortresses seem to be designed to create microdomes that protect their inhabitants and allow them to vibrate in harmony. The official story is that St. Petersburg was founded and built in 1703 by Tsar Peter the Great. In 1903, an original poster made specially for the 400th anniversary of the founding of St. Petersburg was auctioned in London. So, it actually celebrated his 400th anniversary in 1903, providing that the city has existed since at least 1503. They eliminated a lot of people who possessed wisdom and knowledge of ancient history to pass this knowledge on to future generations. The disappearance of these witnesses was necessary for the emerging New World Order to publish its own account of history. Longevity. In the past, it was not uncommon for people to live between 150 and 200 years. In Tsarist times, births and deaths were recorded in church records. Many people lived between 100 and 180 years old. People over 140 years old were not rare in Russia. It was Peter I who destroyed the family records in which all the information about the lives of many generations was recorded, thus destroying another source of information for a period of 200 to 300 years. This was done to completely rewrite history. Pushkin himself described in his memoirs this meeting with a 160-year-old Cossack in the Orenburg steppe. This Cossack well remembered the uprising to Stephen Racine in the 17th century, in which he himself had participated. In 1904, the newspaper Tiflisky List reported that in the village of Spa, in the Gori district, there lived an Ossetian woman named Tens Albaba, who was 180 years old and had such vitality that she took care of household chores and could still sew with the view. She was born in 1724, during the time of Peter the Great. Mahmud Eyvazov and Shiral Muslimov were very famous in his time. Mahmud, from the Lerik region of Azerbaijan, was 140 years old. Shiral from Barbazav, 168 years old. She had 13 sons, 10 daughters, 106 grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and great-great-grandchildren. She was even issued a stamp to commemorate her long life. Mahid Agaev, from the Lerik region, was 140 years old. Shirin Hasanov was 150. In the search for long-lived people in Abkhazia, old tombstones were found with the following inscriptions in quote: Kuba Ali lived to be 300 years old and died in the war against Aghar Khan, shot in the heart. Churmebike was 245 years old. She married at 105 and gave birth to a son, a great warrior. Soap opera. What was the world like at that time? The great civilization was erased with the help and planning of shadowy powers. The story, what is taught in school, is presented like a soap opera, with ghost dynasties, events changed places, and thousands of years that never happened. The defeat of the great Tatars has been labeled in official historiography as the fall of Troy, fall of the Roman Empire, fall of Constantinople, fall of the Ottoman Empire, war of independence, collapse of the Qing dynasty, fall of the Russian Empire, defeat of Austria-Hungary, and the First World War. The Chinese emperors and the Egyptian pharaohs coexisted with all the other great civilizations to create a harmonious culture with the same language, although they went down in history with dozens of names invented by those who wrote history on request. Hyperborea, beyond the Arctic Circle, was the land of our great ancestors and appeared on maps until the 16th century, before being conquered. The Vatican blessed all wars created a theory about the straight earth in the 13th century because it is easier to control the population if you reduce it to the 2 dimensions of a plane, instead of recognizing that we are multidimensional beings. Another group created religions that think love, compassion, and humanity, while under the guise of worshipping God, they accept regressive things and promote the opposite, like all the institutions they run. The UK, called Albion, was a land of pirates, and its history is a complex novel written and acted by very strange people. Photographs. Ancient and historical figures appear in contemporary photographs and use ancient clothing to create historical figures and ghost families, All of this was done to fill the void of our recent hidden past. These beings lived much longer than us. Obelisks, churches, mosques, and cathedrals were ancient and powerful plants for generating clean, free, healthy, and wireless energy, producing all types of frequencies, waves, and infrasound, but they destroyed them or put crosses on them to disguise their original purpose. Well, civilization was gradually dismantled in the years 1900 to 1940 and finally destroyed through the use of directed energy weapons. The photos and images were later retouched with fake light poles and cables. The entire official history, had to be deleted to be rewritten according to the official script. Communism, capitalism, socialism, and liberalism were socio-economic theories created to disguise their way of exploiting humanity on the six continents. World revolutions and world wars served to hide the destruction of ancient buildings. Curious. Thousands of people celebrated Midsummer at Stonehenge. The full strawberry moon kicks off summer looking its most splendid in years. Central banks are buying gold despite the historic price record, according to the Financial Times. Switzerland is pushing to reconfigure the financial system after the banking crisis. Tokenization projects are being carried out in all financial centers around the world. Biden will ban the sale of Kaspersky antivirus on July 20th. According to Max Igan, your smartphone is not your friend because it spies on you and much more. Volkswagen equips the information and entertainment system of several of its models with ChatGPT. Mysterious metal monolith appears in Las Vegas after reappearing in Wales. 70 years of anti-gravity research. Declassified documents and patents hint at advanced technology. The Hubble telescope captures how new stars transform into a nebula. There is a plan to replace humans with robots. It is called the Fourth Industrial Revolution, and it is intended to digitize all aspects of life. Chimpanzees look for medicinal plants when they are sick. In Thailand, there are fed 80 stray dogs every day. They have a very hard life, and Buddhist tradition encourages compassion for all sentient beings. The prolific use of emojis to convey emotions demonstrated that masks increase childhood mental health problems by hindering facial communication. Scientists discover a surprising property of cheese for mental health. A group of researchers studied the links between mental health and life expectancy. An artifact with swastika and red mercury discovered. It is inscribed in the Arial font designed in 1982. It is supposed to be mercury iodide, scarlet-colored, poisonous, odorless, tasteless, and insoluble in water powder. Metaphysical. Alex Jones explains an interdimensional battle for soul. Poet Doc believes that if you have the divine presence, you don't care about everything else. Archbishop Carlo Maria Vigano summoned the Vatican to be excommunicated. Vigano confirms that he will not attend in Vatican trial. X-22 report. The good guys are in control. The truth is being exposed for the world to see. People will see the truth and much more. Saratoga Ocean believes that we are in a decisive moment. People wake up like deer in headlights in shock and dismay. How you develop from this moment on will determine your greater destiny on this universe. Europe. Prostitutes can now have a legal employment contracts in Belgium. The richest family in the UK sentenced to prison for exploiting their domestic staff in Switzerland. China accuses the European Union of provoking a trade war. Ukraine debates exemption for military service in exchange for taxes. Israel will launch a new offensive against Hezbollah after admitting defeat at the hands of Hamas. Spain. The loss of productivity in the Spanish economy worries the European Union. The export of Spanish foods to China, including pork, decreases. Catalan public spending per capita is almost a third higher than that of Madrid. Imanol Pradales becomes the sixth Lendakari after being sworn in under the Guernica Tree. Americas. Wildfires in the Santa Fe National Forest in New Mexico began on Saturday, June 15th, but the cause is unknown. Mexico displaces Sweden and ranks as the ninth country that receives the most foreign direct investment. Pompeo believes that judicial reform in Mexico would cause chaos, extermination, and trade war, in his opinion, in quotes. Mexico monopolizes the six most violent cities in the world. Localities in the US, Brazil, Jamaica, South Africa, and Venezuela complete the ranking. The electricity rate skyrockets in Chile and threatens to impact inflation. A failure in the national electrical grid left Ecuador in the dark, without power throughout the country. Thousands of protesters protest against the Peruvian government in Lima. The Constitutional Court of Colombia asked the prosecutor's office if the judges are being wiretapped. Brazil is the wild card of the oil market after a drop of almost a million barrels. Bolivia celebrates the Andean Amazonian New Year 5532, or 5532. The event was celebrated with ancestral rituals of retribution to Pachamama, raising hands to receive the first rays of the sun, and making requests for unity, peace, prosperity, and good wishes. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.